What's up, guys? Mickle here. And one of the biggest promises of cryptocurrency technology is tokenization. We know there is quadrillions of dollars of assets in our financial system, and eventually these are all going to be moved over to blockchain technology. But one of the things we have yet to see is really any of these assets come over to the blockchain ecosystem. In this video, I want to show you exactly why Ripple buying standard custody was the first major step to making this happen. I want to go over some brand new legislation taking place at this exact moment that is going to completely change the game for tokenization going forward and show you exactly why I believe Ripple's acquisition of standard custody is allowing them to win in this sector. Guys, the XRP Ledger is the best blockchain for tokenization, and if it can capture even 1% of the assets in the entire world that are going to be tokenized, the price of XRP will go up exponentially. In this video, I want to paint the picture for you and show you exactly what's being built behind the scenes because I think it's going to blow your mind. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. If you enjoyed these videos, make sure to take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It's really going to help me out so much. Also, if you ever need a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out my favorite exchange Uphold down in the description of this video. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So we need to start this video out and talk about some legislation we are now looking to get this year, which is super exciting and something we never expected, and that is a stablecoin bill. The reason why this wasn't expected is because we were going into a hyper-polarized election where essentially one political party hates cryptocurrency and the other political party likes it. So a lot of people were saying there is no way we're going to get a stablecoin bill. It is way too off agenda for all the bigger issues happening in the world right now. But it looks like stablecoins are really becoming a national security issue, and it looks like regardless of the election, we're going to get a stablecoin bill. Now, this is really big news because this is essentially both parties working together to pass pro-cryptocurrency regulation for the first time in United States history. We are watching a dramatic shift in the narrative behind cryptocurrency. It's no longer, hey, maybe we just ignore this thing and it goes away. Hey, if we just push it out of the current system and put rules against it, maybe we can kill it. It is now, okay, we are accepting this is here to stay. Let's talk about how we can incorporate this into the financial system. This is a dramatic shift I never thought we would see. Coming out of 2022 and coming out of 2023, where we essentially saw cryptocurrency companies blowing up left and right, the dramatic fraud of FTX, the collapse of Terra Luna, I never thought we would have a Bitcoin spot ETF next year. And I certainly never thought we would have cryptocurrency regulations in that same year. We are currently watching mass adoption of cryptocurrency right in front of our eyes. But I want to move on and talk about exactly how Ripple's going to benefit from this and how this plays into their master plan. One of the things that we saw just the other day that definitely made mainstream headlines was Ripple buying standard custody. Now, when this news first hit, everyone was pointing out the obvious. Ripple now owns a major cryptocurrency custodian, but not a lot of people were actually talking about exactly how this incorporates into Ripple's business. The surface level analysis is Ripple's getting into custody, right? Ripple just bought a crypto custodian, so Ripple is going to get into custodying cryptocurrencies. But I don't think that's really what Ripple's end goal here is. I think it's so much bigger. Like I said in the beginning of this video, one of the holy grails of cryptocurrency technology is tokenization of the current financial system. There is more than $1 quadrillion worth of assets floating around our financial system that are eventually all going to get tokenized. How do I know that? Well, it's simply the next stage in where assets are going to move to. Right now, we have all our assets on analog systems. These analog systems are severely outdated and they're going to be replaced by digital systems. Digital systems include blockchain technology, right? It's essentially the way value is going to move in the future on public ledgers. So what we know is, right, we have quadrillions of dollars worth of assets on analog outdated systems. Blockchain technology is likely the solution to moving this over to the digital age. Now, the only thing we need to focus on from there is which blockchains are going to win, which companies in the cryptocurrency sector are poised to gain a lot of this tokenization value. And then towards the end of the video, we'll talk about why hasn't the tokenization happened yet and what just changed? Let's start off and talk about what Ripple just did. Ripple just bought standard custody. Standard custody has a charter to essentially allow companies to onboard assets. Now, this is a really big deal because one of the things that Ripple has lacked so far is a custody solution and a way to get the assets in our current financial system into the blockchain system. Right now, essentially, we have a separation between TradFi and blockchain. All the assets are in TradFi. We need to get them over to blockchain to start the tokenization process. And I'll just show you this very simple chart I made earlier today. What we have is the XRP Ledger up top and TradFi at the bottom. The XRP Ledger is the space-age technology that is able to move value all around the world instantaneously for fractions of a penny. But it didn't come preloaded with value, right? The value needs to get there, and all the value is currently in our traditional financial system owned by the big financial players. What do we know? The big financial players are going to need custody going into this new world. They are going to need digital custody solutions because they understand the world we're heading into has different rails. It's not going to be on the analog rails. It's going to be on digital rails. So the traditional financial system, right? They are building up their custody solutions. They are starting to adopt custody that will allow them to hold assets in a digital age. What Ripple understands, right, is that a lot of these traditional financial players either already have their custody solutions in place or are going to need to adopt them at a rapid pace. So Ripple is currently building and buying custody solutions that the traditional financial institutions are going to use. Earlier this year, they bought Metaco. Metaco is already widely used by a bunch of financial institutions. Then later, they bought Standard Custody. Standard Custody already has a bunch of deals to custody billions of dollars worth of assets and is one of the only regulatory compliant custodians in the United States. So Ripple is buying the crypto custody that the traditional financial system players are going to use. And what does that allow Ripple to do? This is the key part. It allows Ripple to tokenize those assets on the XRP ledger. It is creating the bridge that bridges the value in the traditional financial system to the new financial system, the digital one. Before Ripple had the custody solutions, they had to convince all these financial institutions, hey, you need to tokenize this value yourself on the XRP ledger. Obviously, that is hard to get a legacy institution to do because they just don't have the technology brain in order to really understand how to do those kinds of things or why they would want to do it. But by Ripple owning the custody solutions, they can create products to tokenize the value that are already in these custody solutions on the XRP ledger. It is bridging these two systems together, and this is what we have lacked this entire time. This entire time, we have had the technology to do the tokenization, but we are yet to have a cryptocurrency company like Ripple be able to work with the financial institutions on the back end to actually start bridging the traditional assets to the new system. And that is what is changing right now. And that is what Ripple's strategy is going to be going forward. Now, you're probably wondering, how does this relate back to that cryptocurrency stablecoin bill? And it's because the first form of tokenization we are seeing is the tokenization of currency, the tokenization of currency into stablecoins. So we are watching regulation currently going into place that is going to allow institutions to create their first tokenized form of asset, tokenized currencies. Bank of America is going to tokenize their internal deposits as Bank of America coin. Citi is going to tokenize their internal deposits as Citi coin. And in order to actually make this tokenization happen, these banks needed legislative clarity on how to issue a stablecoin. It is the first step. And what Ripple is doing is coming in underneath that and saying, okay, now that you have the regulatory authority to do this tokenization, we'll take your custody solution, we'll build it and force you to create bridges to the XRP ledger because that's where they believe is the most efficient way to bridge all the value created in these walled gardens. It's absolutely genius, and this is playing out perfectly. Buy the custody solutions that the institutions are using. Help them tokenize their assets on public blockchains and then use the XRP ledger to move the value between all the different tokenized wallets, all the different custody solutions to create an interoperable system of moving value all around the world. It is the internet of value. This is playing out exactly how Ripple has seen since day one. Work with the financial institutions that own the assets. Build them products that allow them to move into the next generation of the financial system. Build them products that allow them to get over the DLT technology in a seamless way. I don't think Ripple saw from the beginning that they were going to have to create custody solutions for these institutions to get their assets over to the new system. So that's what Ripple's doing now. They're saying, you know what, if the institutions aren't going to tokenize these assets themselves, we'll just buy out their custody solutions, we'll create the custody solutions, and we'll tokenize the assets for them. This is absolutely perfect for the future of Ripple dominating this next generation financial system. Ripple has the tech, they have the rails already set up. They already have the interoperability with the XRP Ledger. Like I said earlier, the one thing they lacked was the bridge to get the traditional financial system assets to the new system, but by taking control of custody, they are now in control of the assets that need to go over to the new system. Guys, to me, this acquisition of standard custody combined with Mataco, with this new legislation to actually tokenize these deposits in these different institutions, is putting Ripple 10 steps ahead of what is coming in the future. Ripple now has control of the assets that will eventually be tokenized. The XRP Ledger is going to be the tool to connect everything. What we're watching in real time is the creation of the internet of value. We were at the early stages, but it has never looked so good. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.